Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I am your digital news desk host. It is Monday, March the 10th, first day after what do we spring forward time change. You get an extra hour of daylight, or it will seem like we get an extra hour of daylight. Hope you guys didn't lose too much sleep. Sounds crazy. We're getting that extra hour, but we lost an hour of sleep. It affected me big time yesterday, but I hope all of you are doing good. If you're watching on our website or on our mobile app, we do appreciate you. And of course, if you're watching on any of our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in there. Don't forget, you can always leave a comment, leave a thought, question, suggestion, all of that in the comment section. I do enjoy getting to talk to you guys during this interactive newscast. And if you are watching, let me know where you are tuning in from. We have Bob here saying hello. So, hello to you, Bob. Thank you so much for tuning in to WLBT Plus. So, we're going to get into a lot of stories, some things that have happened over the weekend here in Jackson. Were several shootings that happened here. We're also going to look at an incident or talk about an incident that happened at UMMC, as well as take a quick look at your forecast in just a little bit. Before we jump into all that, though, why don't we take a look outside and see what it looks like? We're going to look at our Market Max camera that is in Tylertown. Beautiful day out there, actually. Absolutely gorgeous day. We're going to have some nice weather over the next couple of days. We do have some rain moving in, but of course, we will look at that in just a little bit. I had to reach away from the microphone and press a button. Let's look at our Raymond Tower cam too. Remember, you can always go to WLBT.com and look at all of our sky cams there and see what's going on around the community. Beautiful shot there. Kind of makes me nervous because I'm a little afraid of heights, but it's still a beautiful shot, beautiful day outside. If you get the chance, make sure you get out there and enjoy it. And since we have a little bit of extra daylight after we get off work, hopefully you will get the chance to get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Let's go ahead and jump into the news while you guys are joining us. Let's talk first about an incident that happened at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, something that in person posted about on social media. We've been checking into it, and we do know now that police are investigating after a woman was assaulted and threatened in the stadium parking lot of the University of Mississippi Medical Center. This happened as she was leaving work. So, according to the victim, she was attacked by a stranger and she was afraid for her life. The victim said that the assailant asked for money. So she both verbally and physically offered him her purse. She said then that he ignored that, threw her to the ground, and kept beating her. Bless her heart. I cannot imagine being in that situation. The victim says that she was punched, choked, and thrown to the ground while she was also being threatened with being shot. She said even though the stranger did ask for her purse, to her, she said it didn't seem like he wanted the money. I said she was helped by someone driving by after, according to her, what felt like forever. So UMMC states that UMMC police, with the help of Capitol Police, are investigating this incident. They said they take seriously the safety of everyone on their campus, and they will continue to work with our partners, including Capitol Police and other law enforcement, to uphold this commitment. So that is a story that just came out now. And as soon as we get an update on this, we will certainly pass it along to you. But it is bless her heart. Bless her heart. Our thoughts are definitely with her, all of us here at WLBT. Looking quickly back at our social stream, we've got Jennifer saying hello. Hi, Jennifer. Latanya is saying hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am, to you as well. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Let's talk now about a shooting that happened at Club Anonymous here in Jackson. JPD is investigating a shooting that happened after an altercation between two men at that nightclub. So the incident happened, like I said, at Club Anonymous. Let me make sure that's turned down so it doesn't get too loud for you guys. This is on Medgar Evers Boulevard, and this incident happened on Sunday morning. So according to JPD, detectives were called to a local hospital where two men were undergoing surgery for gunshot wounds. So after speaking with witnesses, police say the two men got into an altercation at the club, which then led to the shooting. Both of the men, of course, were shot. We don't have the information on what caused the altercation at this time, but as soon as it comes in, we are definitely going to investigate, you guys, or not investigate. We are going to pass that information along to you as soon as it comes into us. Then there was also a shooting that happened on Raymond Road in Jackson on Saturday. So 3 on Your Side got this video. It was about 10:15 on Saturday night. JPD says that a man was shot by mistake. He was shot in the ankle. However, on the way to the hospital, the man jumped out of the ambulance and ran off. So JPD says that they have since then dropped the investigation. We don't know why the man ran off. Don't know how serious the injuries are. I'm thinking if it were me, if I'm shot in the ankle, if I stand up wrong and tweak my ankle, I'm not going anywhere. But if I'm shot in the ankle, I'm definitely not running out of the ambulance. So I take that for whatever you think it may be. But they did not give an update on how seriously he was shot or give us that information. They may not even know themselves, but they did drop the investigation. So hopefully he wasn't hurt too bad, and hopefully his ankle recovers quickly. Then we're also continuing to follow some new develops that happened in the Jxn Bribery scandal that is going on with the city officials here, city council people, as well as Mayor Lumumba and Hinds County DA Jody Owens. So we now know when the case is expected to head to trial. So federal judge Daniel Jordan set the trial for July the 13th of 2026. So that's over a year away, a year and a half away before this trial will happen. So attorneys for Jackson Mayor Chokwe Lumumba, Hinds County District Attorney District Attorney Jody Owens, and Ward 6 Councilman Aaron Banks they all asked for more time to go through all of the information of evidence that was provided by the government to them. All 3 of the elected officials are charged with bribery and conspiracy. Of course, Owens and Lumumba also face money laundering and wire fraud charges. The charges come, of course, after that undercover operation where FBI agents posed as developers and caught the 3 elected officials accepting bribes. There was also 2 others that were caught. Angelique Lee, who was a councilwoman who resigned, and then Marvay Smith as well. He's a local businessman. So they say that they are estimating this trial to last for 6 weeks, 6 whole weeks. Of course, like I said, that's not going to begin at this time. It was scheduled to begin in July of 2026. So if there are any other updates, anything else comes out, of course, we will pass that information along to you. We do know that the documents have been sealed, so we will not be able to see any of the documents from that. From the case, but we will be there in the courtroom and we will definitely keep you guys updated on any changes that may or may not happen. So the former FedEx driver who was shot while en route in Brookhaven, he now has a new legal representation in a civil case. So DeMontero Gibson is now being represented by the Mississippi Center for Justice. Earlier this year, criminal charges were dropped against the men accused of shooting at Gibson, Brandon, and Gregory case. A judge cited failures by Brookhaven police to disclose some key evidence as to why those charges were dropped. The judge says that the violation undermined due process and also raised constitutional concerns. Gibson promised to continue to pursue the case despite those charges being dropped. And the Mississippi Center for Justice attorney Rob McDuff issued a statement saying the civil lawsuit is the next avenue to seek accountability for this violent attack. Gibson was simply doing his job when these three men pursued and shot at him. They could have killed him. So, we'll continue to follow that and pass that and the updated information along to you as it comes in to us. Uh, Mary, oh, I've never seen any Mary spelled this way, and I love it. Mary says the cops have to take serious investigation. I believe she's talking about the incident that happened at UMMC. And Catherine Brown, Miss Catherine, is watching from San Diego today. Hello, Miss Catherine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, there were some juveniles that have been arrested. They're actually now behind bars after a stolen vehicle crashed into two Capitol Police vehicles. So according to officials, the incident happened around 8:45 Saturday nights when Capitol Police officers attempted to make a traffic stop near McDowell Road on a vehicle that had been reported stolen. The driver of the stolen vehicle did fail to stop and led officers on a brief pursuit. During the pursuit, the driver of the stolen vehicle crashed into two Capitol Police cars before finally coming to a stop on McDowell Road. Thankfully, though, there are no injuries to report on this. And as we get more updates, of course, like we always do, we will pass it along to you. And Jackson police responded to a car hitting a pole at the corner of a Bailey Avenue and Fortification Street. This actually happened this morning. So the power was knocked out from Jennings Street to Fortification Street. When we got there to the scene around 4 o'clock this morning, that's what we saw there. So we will, of course, keep you updated as more information becomes available to us. And a sad story out of Atala County, where a 9-year-old girl has passed away after being hit by a car there. So the Mississippi Highway Patrol told us that the child was hit Friday evening on Highway 43 near Blackjack Road. She was taken by ambulance to Baptist Atala Emergency Department, where she was to be airlifted for further treatment in serious condition. Officials confirmed that she did pass away over the weekend. Mississippi Highway Patrol is investigating this crash, and as we get updates, we will pass them along. Before we take a look at our forecast and give you a quick look at that, let's hear from our sponsor at Jxn Water.
Time for a neighborly tip from Jxn Water. Is it okay to pour fats, oils, and greases down the drain if I run hot water?
No!
What if I run the garbage disposal?
No!
How about if I use dish soap at the same time?
No!
Instead, hang on to a few containers to store and toss old cooking fat and grease once you're done. Jxn Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thanks to Jxn Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus so that we can bring you the show weekdays at 1 o'clock, as well as the other content that we have out here for WLBT Plus. We have a top 3 in Jackson, or top 3 in our area with Aaron. That is at 8 o'clock every morning. And then, of course, our First Alert Weather team comes on and gives updates throughout the day on the forecast. And they will be here at 2:30 today to give an update on your forecast, but we're going to take a quick, brief look at it real quick. I'm going to give you the overview. They will give you the details. So make sure you're back here at 2:30 for that. We look outside at our current temperatures right now. Very, very pleasant out there, mid 60s for just about everybody across the board. If our look at our current radar, you can see that we don't have any rain in the area, nor are we expecting any rain over the next 12 hours. We're going to drop down to the high 40s overnight, but again, no chance of rain. But if we look at our 7-day forecast here, you will see where there is some chance of rain on as we get later into the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They are thinking that some of those storms that are going to be moving through could be severe. So that's why it is important for you to be back here at 2:30 to get the full scoop on our forecast, our spring break forecast with our first alert weather team. They will be back, or they will be here at 2:30. So 3 on Your Side did a special report called Unseen Barriers, and it examines why many sexual assault cases go unprosecuted. This may not even be something that you're aware of. Every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, but only 25 out of every 1,000 perpetrators will end up in prison. 25 out of 1,000 will end up in prison. As a public safety issue that takes immense courage for the survivors to report. You hear statistics like those, but we do have some people that our reporter Courtney and Jackson talked to, did a great story on this, which of course we're fixing to play for you, but they're putting a voice to those statistics. 4 sexual assault victims came forward to share their story in hopes that it will lead to some changes within the system and ultimately keep others from going through what they have gone through. So here is the investigative piece that Courtney and Jackson did called Unseen Barriers.
My mom was the one who called the police. They're the first people that we went to was the cops.
Once the ambulance came pick me up from the police station,
first people I told was the police.
These 4 survivors say it's the steps that follow that moment of entrusting the details of assault where they found it difficult to navigate. They all say they've felt in the dark about how the case is progressing.
I'm just waiting for a trial. I'm kind of just waiting for a court day. I'm kind of waiting for a call, waiting for a message. I'm just kind of waiting.
It's almost easier to not do that, to not say anything, and to not go through. Ended up not going to trial until 2 years after the incident. That part was hard, like just waiting in between and like not being updated.
For some, even though the case has made it to court, there's been a breakdown.
My rape kit it was lost. The nurse got on the stand. They said they had it up until she got on the stand. She started like hyperventilating and like crying, and she said she lost it. So that wasn't in there.
Had you been made aware of that prior to trial?
No.
I feel like I was the bad one in all this process because I never felt either represented or helped. All the time I called or I tried to find an answer. At some point I just stopped calling because for what I'm going to call if all they're going to tell me is, yeah, there's still an investigation.
All of those women were in the Jackson Metro when their assaults took place, an area where Sandy Middleton, executive director of the Center for Violence Prevention, explains they have memorandums of understanding with the hospitals.
So that if a victim presents to a local hospital in Jackson, they're going to get one of our SANEs.
Let's pause there. A SANE is a sexual assault nurse examiner.
Several SANEs who have a lot of experience and a lot of training, and then we're also able to send an advocate with that SANE. And so the victim has a wonderful opportunity to get the highest level of care, both from a forensic standpoint, to do the rape kit, and also to get the support from an advocate.
But Representative Dana McClain has learned the very first step is a challenge in many other parts of the state.
Rape victims have been turned away from hospital facilities and not been given a rape kit exam. We've heard of stories where a victim has been to 3 facilities and still not been treated.
And that's not an isolated incident. That's why she's filed House Bill 928.
Require that the ER have sufficient number or supply of rape kits there, and that they have someone who is able to perform that kit.
McClain believes that could have far-reaching effects.
But I believe that as we do support these victims, that more will come forward. I feel that we will have more prosecutions, because at this point, who would be encouraged to bring a suit forward and to prosecute if they don't feel that they've gotten the support that they need initially?
Another bill they're hoping can be somehow revived involves reporting of those kits.
So, all of the legislation that is moving through the Capitol right now is all centered around getting the answers and providing the care for victims when they need it.
A law was put in place 2 years ago in an attempt for that to happen.
Still having trouble getting our hands around where the kits are.
This most recent report from the task force includes recommendations, but there are no numbers from the state crime lab on how many rape kits they've processed. We reached out to the Department of Public Safety to find out what's changed since the new reporting law was put in place and how they're ensuring kits get processed. Since July 1, 2023, there have been 859 new sexual assault kits received by the crime lab. 519 of those have been processed. The agency tells us it is in the process of contract approval for other organizations to work towards processing the kits. That was also part of what the law allowed. Here's a look at the number of sexual battery and rape cases that were prosecuted in recent years. That may not be as high as you expect, but
the numbers are not really, they don't really tell the true story. The number is low, especially when you look at the national stats and the typical number of people that are assaulted every year. And you look at the fact that, like in the Jackson metro area, my SANEs have done, over 100 kits every year. And, most of those kits, we still really don't know where we are in the judicial process. So that's part of the reason why we need to know, okay, who has kits.
All of these breakdowns in the process put survivors on a continuous cycle of trauma that they admit feels difficult to escape. The women we spoke with have found healing through therapy.
A lot of people don't realize it plays more into your daily life than just whenever it's being talked about. It affects us a lot more than that, and having somebody to go to that is safe, it means a lot.
Nobody prepares you for the change that comes with that, and having to go to work or just go in public and not be afraid to see somebody kin to him or see somebody friends with him or be afraid you're going to be attacked again,
I have to kind of relive it, re-talk about it. Yeah. That's not the part I'm ready for. I'm kind of nervous about that.
Why I'm the one who has to feel incarcerated? Why am I the one that has to feel that it's not free no more on the street, on my job, everywhere I go? It's like some part of it never goes away. Because I can do I can live my life like nothing has happened until I feel alone somewhere, and I feel he's gonna come.
And heartbreaking story there from those 4 survivors. I applaud their bravery for coming out and being able to speak, and then also even reporting it to begin with. But we heard there are a lot of issues there with the rape kits, as one said that when they got on stand at court, that the rape kit had been lost. So hopefully, with the introduction of this House bill, hopefully it will cause a change and spur some good change to happen so that nobody else has to go through something such as this. And so that hopefully more people who are guilty of committing a sexual assault against someone, they can receive the justice that they are supposed to get under our justice system. Well, guys, that is going to be the end of WLBT Plus today. I do thank all of you for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit on this Monday afternoon. Don't forget, First Alert Weather Team will be here at 2:30, giving you a in-depth look at that forecast and talking about the possibility of the severe weather this weekend. So make sure you're here for that. I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.